we're starting to run short on time, so I'm going to move down the panel just for some final thoughts, and I'll let Adam's last thoughts be his final thoughts.
Please.
And let's Sarah.
Well, I think there's some capability building, though, that is required within the context of building an economy that has national characteristics. And one of the areas where content and technology collaborators really need to work together is building cloud capability, cloud computation capability in Canada, so that the stuff that's produced in this country is managed and served in this country. And this may not be something that's familiar to folks in the audience, but it's a very critical issue, and it's been a policy piece that a number of us who are consulting on the Industry Canada side are pushing very hard to make sure that all the questions around rights management and being able to really build an industry here that's technically savvy and has its content produced in this country is going to be possible.
I think a key is really we've got to focus on what are our opportunities. I think we have spent a lot of time looking at what some of our challenges are, but I think we do have many, many opportunities. And those are the sort of the positive things that can create momentum. And in terms of going forward and creating a digital media strategy, a national digital media strategy, I think we've got all the ingredients around, on the panel here. We've got to go and make it. We've got to set our own timelines. And I think it's one of those things, if you build it, they will come. The government won't want to be outside of the box on that. They'll have to come along. But if we wait for the government to initiate or to somehow enable that strategy, we will be here in 2017 going, are we getting that strategy going this year, or will that be next? So I think we've got to move forward and lay down a process and just start to do. And I think everyone here should get engaged and involved. Everyone here is a stakeholder with your associations. The more enthusiasm, the more engagement there is, the easier it will be to sort of drive up and figure out what are the things we need to do, what are the steps we need to take, and what do we all think the opportunities are for ourselves.
Great. Kevin?
I think I did my rant there at the end, but I guess it's for me, and I guess it was a learning that we got out of our first Canada 3.0, because one of the pieces of feedback we got from the event was because we were trapped in an ice rink in the middle of basically a cornfield, there was nowhere to go in the breaks. And so what people did is they went out in the hallways and they struck up conversations with individuals they may not have normally had conversations with. And out of that came new thoughts and new thinking. And so I think there needs to be that spirit of collaboration, and needs to have conversations outside of our own little silos. We need to break down those silos, and we do need to put that plan into place, and we need to take those milestones seriously. And we need to identify and circle the wagons around champions from each sector to make sure that this plan can work. And then, like Ian said, let's go do it.
Great. Ian?
I'd just reiterate and build on that, because I think what we've heard here is, and what I've been intrigued by over the last few months, is seeing the number of associations and organizations who've issued papers on the need for a national digital strategy, all dealing with different aspects, all looking from different points of view, but all coming together saying, if all this came together, we would have pretty much a national digital strategy in place. I think it's also fair to say governments at all levels are wrestling with, how do they deal with this sector? What do they need? How do they develop policies, programs? How do they work with it? They're looking for help. They're looking for advice. They're looking for your expertise. So I think we all have to get together. We all have to work on it. And I'll see you at Canada 3.0 on May 10th and 11th. Thank you.
Wow,
Norm,
I get the
final
last
thoughts,
word.
call to action.
The conversation's already started. It's growing. It's intensifying. We're part of it. And if you believe it's a conversation that's going to contribute to the future prosperity of our nation and the success of our children and grandchildren and the global economy, join the conversation and add what you can and take what you can from it. And one more thing, which is kind of Zen, try to avoid saying but, and instead say and. Build a conversation, don't shut it down, because if you think it's worth having.
So it truly is a shiny future that awaits us.
It's a shiny, shiny, shiny path. That sounds Maoist.
Okay, well, we're out of time now. I'd like to thank all of the panelists for their great insights on this. I believe there's one session following on after this, after a quick switch over, and that's the CMF session, which should give us some interesting insights, hopefully, into where content in Canada will be going over the next few years.
I also have to remind you,
around.
there is a party tonight hosted by Knight McGee Enterprise. It's at 9:30 at Play, Food and Wine in the Market. Everyone's welcome to come to the party. It's free and it's going to be fun. There will be music.
Shiny.
There will be shining digital music. Please do come.
Thank you.